Everything we've done so far has used data with temporary storage in the computer memory. Normally, when you're working with a computer program, you want something that's more permanent, that can be saved to a file that will be there when you shut down and turn back on the computer. So let's start by talking basically about how file input works. We can access things from the computer memory. We can save them, we can read them in, we can append to them. And so there's two types of files we'll be working with in the book. In this chapter, we're just working with text files. So all of the data that we put in, even it's numeric, will be put in as string storage. And so each line in the file will end with a new line symbol to show that it's the end of the line. And the next record, if we're thinking in database terms, the next line will be read until you reach the end of the file and there's no more information. So if we want to open a file where we can use it, we're going to create a variable that refers to that file object. And we're going to start talking about objects now. We'll be creating our own objects coming up, but objects have special functions which are called methods. A method is a function that belongs to an object. So we're using a file, and you can think of that as an object because it's something that's actually there, and it has various properties and various functions. It has functions where we can open and save the file and do things like that. So we're going to create a variable which we might call something like input_file, and then we're going to equal to opening the file name. That's the actual name of the file on your computer. Something like state capitals, .txt. And then we have to tell Python how are we opening the file. We have three options: read, append, and write. And that gives you the acronym of RAW, if that helps you to remember it. So if you're reading a file, you can just get information from it. You don't make any changes to it. If you're appending a file, you're adding new information onto the end of the file. So you can change it, but you're not going to destroy any of the information that's currently there. If you're writing to a file, you will wipe out the contents of the file and you will write over it. So there is some potential danger there because you might delete data that you need. So be very careful in how you're doing this. And I put it in order from the least effect on the file. We're just reading it, not making any changes. Append is adding to it, and then write destroys everything in the file and recreates it. Then our object, that variable, now has methods, specialized functions, that we can use that are named. So we can do variable.close. We don't need to pass anything into it, but this is how we work with files for input.